Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. All right, today's video, we are out in Bristol, Connecticut. We're fishing the Pequabuck River, and the main target species for today are rainbow, brown, and brook trout. So this is a spot I've fished for a really long time growing up. I've had a lot of success here. So today what we're gonna be using is we're gonna be using small little rooster tails. I do have night crawlers with me because there is other species that we can also get, any micros, things like that. So let's get started and see if we can get anything. All right, so first cast with the tiny chartreuse rooster tail. Let's see if anything wants to go for it. All right, folks, we're not getting anything over here, so we're gonna move up the river and see if there's anything down there. All right, folks, so we've made it up to the river a little bit, and we made it to one of my really good spots. So we're gonna give a couple casts with the rooster tail. If that doesn't work, we're gonna tie on a small barbless hook, put on some night crawlers, let it float down the river, and see if we can get any bites. So let's get started. All right, so first cast with the rooster tail. I'm already seeing a couple trout swimming around, not too big, but hey, a fish is a fish, so let's see if we can get one of them. Chasing it in. See if they'll commit to it. All right, so we switched to something a little bit bigger, a little bit more flashy. So let's see if this will do the trick. The small little rooster tail wasn't really doing it for them, so hopefully this change in lures will be the trick. There we go, there we go. There's the fish. That was it, that was the trick. All right, now this river is a non-take-home river, so it is strictly catch and release. So if you ever plan on catching trout and releasing them, always wet your hands to make sure you don't ruin their slime coat. There we go, folks. First trout of the day. Gorgeous, gorgeous little brown trout. All right, let's send her back. There she goes. That's one on the board. Let's see if we get some more. Really taken to the night crawler, so we're gonna pack it up, head to a little bit farther up the river, and see if anything wants to sit up there and eat. All right, so we've made it up the river a little bit more, so we're gonna give a couple casts with the same lure from earlier and see if there's any trout sitting in this spot. I have caught in quite a few in this spot before, so I'm hoping that there's a couple sitting in this area. All right, folks, we're not getting anything and I'm not seeing anything, so we're gonna continue up the river. So I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, folks, so this isn't the ideal scenario, but I need to get to this spot, and the tree line is, as you can see, not exactly the best for traveling through. So I have stuck to the resort of wading through the river. Not the best idea, but better than going through that. So we are going to wade through this and get to a really good spot that I've seen some really good sized trout. Some of them, I want to say, are a good 12, 14-inch trout. So we're gonna wade through and I'll see you guys when we get to the spot. All right, folks, so we've made it to the spot and I'm already seeing some really nice trout. So let's throw this lure out there and see if we can get any of them. Again, chased in by one. All right, folks, they're not really going after the lure too much, so we're gonna switch over to a night crawler and we're gonna see if that'll do the trick. So let's get it changed over and see what happens. All right, night crawler's all rigged up, so let's throw it out there and see if we can get any trout to want to bite. There we go. There we go. There we go, folks. We got a nice one on. Nice brown trout on. Nice brown trout on. There we go, guys. Right in the corner of the mouth. We got him. Let's get this guy unhooked. There's a view in a second once I can get this guy safely unhooked. There we go. There we go, guys. Trout number 2 of the day. Nice little brown trout. Got him hooked right in the corner of the mouth perfectly. So, beautiful colors. Let's send her back. There she goes. All right, that's 2 on the board. Let's see if we can get some more. All right, folks, we're gonna continue wading up the river. I see a nice spot up there that looks like a pretty good pocket. So we're gonna go see if there's anything hiding in there. All right, folks, wading down the river, I did just find this nice little pocket and I'm seeing a lot of life in here. So we're gonna throw the night crawler and see if we can get a new species for the list today. So far, we've got 2 brown trout. And from what I've seen in here, it looks like I'm seeing a couple fall fish, creek chubs, and largemouth bass. So let's see if we can get anything. Fish number 2. All right, there we go. Fish number 2 today. Actually, this is fish number 3. I'd have to go positively ID him later, but it looks to me like a nice little tiny creek chub. Might be a baby fall fish, but we'll definitely look later to see. All right, it's fish number 3. Let's see if we can go get some more. There we go. Another fish, folks. Okay. A lot larger of a creek chub. You guys didn't see on camera, but this is fish number 5 of the day. Another tiny little creek chub. So we've got 3 creek chubs so far, and we got 2 brown trout. We might move from this spot soon and try going more upriver just to see if there's any other pockets that have anything else in them. So we'll give this spot a couple more minutes and then we're gonna head farther out. We're gonna call it for this spot. We're gonna keep making our way down. So this spot wasn't too bad. Got 3 creek chubs for the day. So species number 2. So let's see if we can find any more species. See you guys at the next spot. All right, folks. I wasn't able to record because we're wading up the river, but I threw 1 cast at this really nice pocket and we just got a really, really nice brown trout. So let's have them go. Let's see if we can get some more. All right, folks, we've been waiting up the river now for quite a while, and I did find a nice little pocket over here, so we're gonna fish for a couple minutes and see if we can get anything. Missed one. All right, folks, we're gonna switch to the night crawlers, and then hopefully that'll do the trick. All right, folks, night crawler's all rigged up. I did put on a little bobber just to let it float down the river just a little bit better. So first cast with the worm, let's see if we can get anything. There we go. There's a fish. What do we got? All right, folks. Species number 3 for the day. As long as I was correct about earlier, and those were creek chubs, this is species number 3. This is a fall fish. Nice silvery coloring on them. Looks very identical to a creek chub, so they kind of get mixed up every now and then. But that's species number 3 for the day, so let's get them back and see if we can get some more. All right, folks. Nice, another little fall fish. Found a nice little pocket of them over there, so we're getting quite a few of them now. All right, there he is. Send him back and we'll start moving up river, downriver actually, a little bit more, and then see if we can find any more deeper pockets with any more fish. So see you guys in a little bit. All right, folks, so we made it to the last spot. We've walked 1.5 miles down the river. So last spot, we're gonna just try floating some night crawlers down. I already did try a couple casts with a lure, didn't really get anything. So we did get a couple fish today, so let's see if we can get some more. So first cast, let's see if we get anything. All right, folks, that's gonna end today's video. We did get a decent amount of fish today. We got 3 really nice brown trout. We got a couple creek chubs and a couple fall fish. So all in all, not a bad day. Yes, they weren't the biggest, but hey, fish is a fish, better than nothing. So we're definitely gonna have to come back here. Maybe hopefully get a rainbow and a brook next time. So hope to see you guys in the next video. Leave a like, subscribe. Catch you guys later.